Welcome to Food Talk TV. My name is Taylor Rose. I'm also known as the Mustard Queen, and this week on Food Talk TV is Stuffed Week. And so today I decided I wanted to make some Greek stuffed tomatoes. These tomatoes are going to be, there's going to be tomato stuffed onions. We're stuffing onions. Why did I say tomatoes? Because I'm thinking about the tomatoes I'm going to be putting in here along with rice, ground beef, some feta, fresh herbs. My husband will be joining me here in a moment. He just had to go to the store to get me some of those fresh herbs, so he'll be back here shortly to be my filmmaker and everything. But I figured I'm trying to be better about my time, so let's go ahead and get started. Now with this recipe, I have seen a couple of different, I've been wanting to make this recipe for Food Talk TV for a while. I haven't made it myself, but every single recipe I come across, it's going to be, every single recipe I've come across says it's like a 2-hour ordeal, so I'm trying to cut the time here on that. Hello, welcome in, and I do appreciate y'all tapping those screens. And if you could share the live, that would be great too. Alright, just cutting the top and the bottom off my onions. Because I'm not like stuffing the entire onion, I will be stuffing the layers. There we go. And I'm cutting a little slit in here just so it evenly cooks, and so that way when it's time to work with them, I'll just be able to peel them. Y'all, welcome in everybody. Making some Greek stuffed onions. And if this is your first time seeing Food Talk TV, welcome. We do live cooking shows every single day, Monday through Friday. We go on live twice a day, all with different creators. And my day is Thursday for cutting the mustard. I'm throwing all this stuff in my stock bag, or my little bowl that I have for the baskets. All of our cooking shows are an hour long, and so this dish that is, you know, everyone says it's a 2 to 4 hour ordeal. I'm going to try to shorten it with the Instant Pot, but I do have the recipe up for baking if you want to see that. So you can absolutely bake this dish if you don't have an Instant Pot. It's just a time-intensive dish. I've also already cooked my rice because I will be stuffing it with rice, and a lot of times people will cook the rice in with the ground beef and the sauce and everything. Cooking with Father, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. Cooking with Fatherpreneur goes on Thursdays at noon Central. He's our newest creator, so today was his second show. Thank you for being here. What are we preparing tonight? These are Greek stuffed onions, and I'm just getting ready to boil these to get started on that. What's up? I hope you had a great show today. Sorry I wasn't able to be there today. Alright. So now I got my little slit and all these. I'm going to boil these about 10 minutes or so. And hey, there's the husband. So he'll be my camera person, which often works a lot better. So this water is already boiling. Oh, wait. One of the things I sent him to the store for was better than bouillon. Did you get the better than bouillon? Yay! So before I throw my onions into the boiling water, I'm going to add some of the bouillon just to add a bit more flavor to it. And now I only added enough water in here to cover the onions because I am going to be using some of the reserved onion stock in the rest of my dish. So the less water I have in here, the more concentrated that onion stock is going to be. Ah yes, that food looked amazing. And 2 of his recipes for Cooking with Fatherpreneur are already on. So thank you. This stuff. They're already on Food Talk TV. I need to add the recipe for the martini. I apologize about that. I'm usually pretty good at adding our recipes. So if you go to foodtoktv.com, you will be able to see the recipes that we cook live every single day. So it's always updating. Mix that. So we're going to have an oniony chicken broth. Yay. Careful.
Or a chickeny onion broth.
Ooh, or chickeny onion broth. Alrighty. There we go. So like just enough water so that way it can be covered for the most part. We're gonna let this go for about 10 minutes. Deb Strong, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate y'all. It really helps us continue doing what we're doing here on FoodtokTV. So we'll let that boil. Hey Ryan, can you set a 10-minute timer on the microwave? And Chef Onion's not. Are ready to take over responsibility for filming, or do you need a second?
Just 1 second.
Okay. I'm also very appreciative that he's willing to be my camera person because it is, the Preds are playing, but I don't know, with hockey season they play a lot of games, so it would be impossible to let him take the day off every time there was a game.
Do you have it on the TV?
Yes, and it's muted. So I'm going to start my pan on medium heat. Should have let this heat up a little bit before adding the oil, but it's okay because I'm using the induction cooktop and this actually heats up very quickly. It's wild. So, and I think one of the things that makes this dish, which is a Greek stuffed onion dish, I'm going to be stuffing the petals of the onion and I will be baking it in the Instapot. But one of the things that's so time sensitive about it is that, you know, you have to boil the onions and then you have to let them cool. And then the inner part of the onions that we can't use as petals for wraps is going to be chopped up and people will saute that with a garlic as well. And then add the ground beef. I'm just going to skip that step and do some ground beef. But I will be adding some of the inner parts of the onion in here. Oh, are you ready?
Yeah, will you flip me around?
Yeah. Okay. Uno momento, I have... Let's see. More. Flip camera. All right. Everyone say hi to husband. This is the olive oil that we have been getting. Mostly because it's fancy. Mostly because it's been on sale a lot lately. But it's been one of my favorites. And then we have some ground beef. This is 80-20. All right. How's that for a show change?
Sorry about the shaky camera there, folks. We're getting adjusted.
All right. Oh yeah, see how quickly that heated up? It's insane. It was a difficult thing to get used to when I first started using the induction cooker, just because it does heat up so incredibly quickly. And I don't have one of those ground beef smashers, but thanks to everyone for coming in. We are making some Greek stuffed onions. Another thing that takes so long with this recipe, because our shows are an hour long, but I'm trying to cut the time here. I already have my rice cooked that's in my rice cooker. A lot of times people will make this where they just add additional liquid or stock in here and cook the rice, kind of more of a one pot filling thing, but we're trying to be quick here today. And I'm sure Ryan would like to watch the end of the Predators game, so I can't take 2 hours on this. Oh yeah. We'll let that saute. I'll go ahead and start grating some garlic. Roll call, where is everyone from? My husband and I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm from here. He's been here for like what, 15 years now?
A long time.
Yeah. He was in Nashville before it was cool to be in Nashville. I think like around 2010, 2015 maybe. Like that's where it became really cool for so many transplants to move to Nashville. So I do always make the joke that he did it before it was cool.
Oh, we got upstate New York Adirondacks.
All right. I love seeing like how many like from coast to coast we can get.
Coast to coast, doing the most.
Yes. And if you all are new to Food Talk TV, be sure you hit that follow button because we do live cooking shows every single day. This is my show on Thursdays. 7 p.m. Central every Thursday. And I've been doing this show for a little over, about a year and a half now.
Thank you for the follows.
Aw, yay!
Happy days. Cassie, also.
Oh, Cassidy's here. Hello.
Not Cassidy. Cassie.
Oh, Cassie. Okay. Sorry, my best friend's name is Cassidy.
We got.
Sometimes she shows up.
We got Ivy Akers from Southwest Michigan.
All right. We've gotten the East Coast pretty well. I wonder if it's too early for dinner on the West Coast.
Is it ever too early for dinner?
Nah. I mean, I don't really like the whole breakfast, lunch, and dinner scape of things. I like just having small snacks or small meals throughout the day.
Agreed.
Y'all, we appreciate you tapping those screens. I have no idea how many taps we have, but let's try to get more, okay?
We're getting roses galore.
Roses galore. Is that Melissa Murd?
No, that's Sarita.
Oh, hey! Thank you so much! We appreciate you. Roses.
And Cassie69 is blowing it up with the roses too.
Ooh, y'all are amazing. And y'all,
Thank you.
We pretty much always choose roses for our gift because I'm Taylor Rose and the camera person is Ryan Rose. I never thought I would be that person who changed my last name, but then, you know, fell in love with the guy with the last name Rose, so how can you turn that down? Alright. Now, for the stuffed onions recipe, there's so many different ways to go about it. I was looking at recipes, just seeing how other people do this, trying to figure out where to, you know, cut corners with the timing aspect of it. Because this is very much so a labor of love, you know. People like to let it roast in the oven for a very long time. But there were so many different variations. I saw some pretty cool, like, vegan options in there as well. Like, someone did them with sweet potatoes. There were some where it was just like a variety of vegetables in here. So this is just the route I'm going with today, but there's so many ways to do it. Has anyone tried stuffing onions before? Because like on Food Talk TV, it is stuffed week, so we are stuffing things.
It is stuffed week. This is fun.
Stuffed week. Y'all, the recipes and the creativity, I love doing theme weeks on Food Talk TV just because everyone is just so ridiculously creative. I love it.
Cassie has not tried stuffing onions.
Not tried stuffing onions. Now I have seen where some people were not cutting the slit like I did in these. They didn't cut the slit, but they would just like boil them whole and then just stuff the inside and use the whole onion and do that. And a lot of those recipes were a bit quicker, but alright, let me get some of this fat out.
Wait, so I missed the whole slit.
Oh yeah. I peeled them like this and then cut a little slit in here because once these are cold to the touch, which y'all, these are going to be really hot. It's going to be a minute before I'm going to be able to like actually stuff them because they will take time to cool.
So you're just going to stuff it right in the slit?
Well, no, I'm going to peel back the layers and like do individual layers for them.
Oh man.
Alright, just use that to get my fat. And I am really waiting on the onions to finish. What is the timer saying?
Timer says 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Oh, look at me getting better on time. Whoop, whoop. You know what? It doesn't hurt to go ahead and season this. I do have some black pepper.
Jeanette,
some salt.
hello.
Jeanette, hey there. I do have some salt, some pepper, some oregano, and some cumin here. So I'll go ahead and just add that to the bottom of the pan, let those get nice and toasty before tossing those in. But I will be adding the innards of the onions momentarily. Let me get a bowl for these. I need different tongs. Tongs, tong, tong, tong. This is my tong song. Alright, we got 20 seconds left. I'll go ahead and fold them. Okay, this thing retains heat. Bad idea. I'm going to use a glass bowl.
Thank you for the follow, Happy Wifey.
And once you know it, I just happen to be pulling these at the right time. Y'all, I've been thinking of ways to be a bit more quick with my shows. And one thing that really helped me was our grub match. Grub match is FoodtokTV's cooking competition where you have 1 hour to cook many things with the secret ingredient, which is not very secret because we're all well aware of what it is a week beforehand. But you have 1 hour to cook so many things. And I felt like I got off easy with my ingredient, which was potatoes. And so you can still vote for me, or you can vote for Cooking with Mama T, which is who I competed against. But voting is still open until Saturday at 10 a.m. Central, so be sure you cast your vote.
I think we just got Mama T in there.
Is Cooking with Mama T in here?
I think so.
She did such a great job, and then also, like, her potato apron was super cute. But yeah, potatoes were a lot of fun. I did potato waffles with potato chip crusted chicken and a little sweet potato chip garnish.
Babs!
Babs, hey there!
Thank you for the pumpkins, Babs.
Pumpkins! It's fall, y'all.
Everyone's showing up. Jeanette.
Oh man,
with the
all
heart
my people over
puffs.
here. Mine always look like peanuts, but I'm getting better at the heart shape. I practice sometimes. Alright, let's see if I can go ahead and get this inner of the onion.
And don't forget to tap the screens, because if you ain't tapping, you're napping.
There you go. Ryan's fairly new to being my camera person and reading the comments and stuff, so he's been doing a great job today.
Well, thank you for the like, Food Talk TV.
Right, thanks Food Talk TV for liking. And also sharing is great. Y'all, I had an unfortunate incident with my hand, so if I'm acting like I'm scared of my knife, it's because I am.
It wasn't while slicing, though.
No, it wasn't. I was using a mandolin, and I was filming content with a mandolin, and I wasn't chopping anything. I was just setting up for my next shot, and my hand slipped. So yeah, y'all, always be careful around mandolins, like just even being near one, because I was actually talking about like how important it is for safety of the mandolins, because you know those things are sharp, and if you don't know someone who has had a serious injury with one, then that's really good for you, because
What up, Kingsy?
they're never like casual injuries.
Yeah, mandolins almost cut off Kingsy's finger.
Oh,
Mandolins almost cut off everybody's finger, and
Yeah.
if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's just a matter
Of time.
Yeah. Fact.
Yeah, dude, absolutely terrifying. And you know, I'm the type of person where even if I'm not very close to the end of a fruit or vegetable, I will be, you know, using a fork on it rather than my own hand, or I'll use cutting gloves, or both usually.
We had a really nice mandolin, and we just chucked it in the trash.
First day we got it because my friend sliced her hand.
It sliced the blood out of her, so we had to get rid of it.
To be fair, the thing I have, like, I get nauseous just looking at it, so I can only imagine how Ryan felt. I was pretty bummed out, but...
Yeah. Kingsy, throw away your mandolins.
Throw it away!
That is solid advice.
Yes. But, y'all, slippery onions are way more difficult to cut and handle.
Uh-oh. That's a slippery slip.
It's okay. I feel like there will be plenty of onion flavor in here. It's gonna be okay. I'm not bummed out about losing that one.
No, I'm sure you did some extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you making? Like, Babs wants to know what you're making. We haven't,
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that in a while. I am
Haven't
making
talked about
Greek
that in a while.
stuffed onions.
I need to figure out how to reset the goal.
Oh shoot! So you click on the goal, and then... Here guys, I gotta show him how to TikTok.
This
quick.
happens every now and then.
Yes, I gotta show him how to TikTok. So you're gonna hit the... Wait, we gotta wait for it to be the goal. Click on that. And then we have to set up a new goal.
All right.
But you do have to edit the amount because it wants to give you, just always do roses. And then you have to write the amount. And so let's go back to 400. That was a good number. Confirm, confirm, confirm.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Beep, boop, bop.
I am pretty proud of him because he's never been one to be super into social media or anything. Like, this man has still never had a Bookface account.
You won't see my face in any books.
Alright, we will get this.
Oh, you might see my face in some books, but
Might see him.
I surely didn't write them.
Now, good for me though that these onions are already pretty much cooked. So they don't need to be cooking with the ground beef very long before I start adding more stuff. And you know, you can use any ground meat. It doesn't have to be beef. You can even omit the beef. You know, but now we're adding that minced garlic from earlier. So I'll basically be getting this mixture. I'm also going to be adding rice and some seasoned tomatoes.
James is asking why are you using the inside of them?
Oh,
Why are you
inside
using
of
the
them,
inside?
just because I'm not going to be able to use all of the layers to roll in there. It's just kind of, you know, using what I have, you know. Because, I mean, it's not like I would have thrown out any of that onion because I do keep my onion scraps for a freezer stomp bag to make veggie and chicken broth with. But, and I easily could have just saved those and used some fresh onion. But, it's just very much so using what I got. Oh, man. I smell the garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Smell the garlic.
Yup.
So you know it's time for maters. I put the tomatoes. I opened up a can. Oh, right in front of my face. This happens to me every time I try to set myself up for success. So these are just canned whole tomatoes. One of those ground beef mashers would be really handy here to crush up the tomatoes. You can use just canned crushed tomatoes if you would like, but I'm reserving some of this sauce to add to what I will be topping the filling with. So the recipe for this is already up on FoodtokTV. That's a lot of tomatoes. I mean, I'm not messed up with it, but I'm not messed up with it.
You can also use a wooden spoon to crush them.
Thank you.
Or a wooden
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the stuff. Oh yeah, that's way better than that flimsy thingamajig. Oh no! Would you grab me some of those fresh herbs that you got?
Yes, I will.
I did make him go to the store for some fresh herbs for this because I thought I had dried, but you know, honestly with this dish, fresh is best for the herbs. I am the first person to tell you when you can use dried instead because, you know, if you don't use all of the herbs, then, you know, they go bad very quickly.
Here we go.
The herbs. I'm going to run these underwater real quick. We're going to want a decent amount of greenery, but we will also be adding some more into the top.
Okay, guys, look. Here's the deal.
That's very ideal.
Sorry, I had to get back to the camera so we don't end up shaking on the deal.
Oh, yeah. Because whenever they're slicing, this table does kind of shake. And it makes the camera work looks like, you know, pretty ridiculous.
I think that went straight up, went over her head.
Huh?
So we don't shake on the deal. Yeah.
You know, I was also going to use just dried dill weed as well. I love dried dill weed. I love fresh dill, but once dill turns into seed, it becomes like this really harsh flavor that I very much so dislike. That's why I really hate dill pickles because of that like really dilly flavor. And so
Say that's a deal breaker for
so
you.
usually like the dried dill, I never get that, or dried dill weed, because they do sell dried dill weed, but then they also sell dill seed. Dill seed is the thing I hate. Okay, I am gonna pour in a little bit of the sauce. Won't be the last of the parsley. I never really cook with fresh dill just because I'm so used to the seed, the weed, the dried stuff.
I might be using that for
your show?
for my thing on Saturday.
So yeah, basically sometimes with fresh dill, if it's like picked a little late, you know, it does take on some of that dill seed flavor. Like I have bought fresh dill before and just been like, huh.
Also got a great, no pun intended this time, I got a great dill on some fresh tarragon as well, so I had to scoop it up. So
Oh, nice.
I'm kind of torn between which one to use there. Or maybe both, but I got to figure out how to make that work. For the thing that I'll be stuffing.
Oh yeah, you got to figure out what you're stuffing. Okay, so I am going to start using the Instant Pot as well. I'm going to use, because I'm just looking for a smooth sauce. I'm not going to be like adding, maybe I do want to add garlic. Saute up some garlic in there, yeah. It would kind of be a crime if I didn't add more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be a criminal, add more stuff.
And y'all, I'm a huge fan of the Instant Pot, but it's okay if you're not. I do have the baking instructions up on FoodtokTV. This is just me trying to shorten this process a bit. And also I'm curious because nobody has a recipe for this online in the Instant Pot. Like nobody does. And so at first I thought it was because, you know, when you wrap all these layers and put it at the bottom, you know, there's not a whole lot of surface area here because usually it's baked in like a large casserole dish. However, I saw someone who said, you know, if your onions already filled up the bottom super tight, you can just layer them. And I'm like, oh, I'll just do that in an Instant Pot.
See what's in there.
My fingers are getting a little too close to the sharp things.
Melissa likes my puns.
He is a pretty punny guy. I always say that he makes the best dad without any kids.
What? He scored.
Oh, we scored? Woo!
Yeah, I thought you checked the score just in time for the score.
Oh, you went to check on the score and oh, that's perfect.
And there it was.
So maybe you just need to like start timing, checking on it.
He scores. You suck. Not you, Taylor.
Yeah, I know. So whenever we're fans of the Nashville Predators, so whenever they score, it's the entire crowd screams, "He shoots, he scores, you suck." Oh man, that's so crazy that they're back at Bridgestone Arena because last night my sister and I went to a Sabrina Carpenter concert and it was at Bridgestone Arena where the Predators play. So it's just so crazy how like one night it's, you know, Sabrina Carpenter and then the next it's
Well, it was Pred's game.
Yeah, it was Pred's
Sabrina
game.
Carpenter the very next night, and then now Pred's game again.
It's wild, that turnover. Absolutely wild. So one thing I've noticed with the Instant Pot, and one thing that a lot of people don't like about it, is that even though it does shorten the cooking time of a lot of things, I'm using the rest of that tomato juice in here.
Yeah, don't
And
waste
it does, but one thing that people dislike about it is that it takes so much time to come up to pressure. And so what I have learned is that if it's already hot, like if you're already working on stuff and it's hot, oh, I poured some of the onion chickeny broth in here.
Ooh.
And so I have the garlic minced in here, some of this, and then we'll do a quick season. And we'll let that simmer. So that way this Instant Pot stays hot, so when it's time to bring it up to pressure, it will do it way more quickly. So we'll just let this simmer. get nice and saucy, and then I gotta do a taste test of a bunch of things.
So it'll be ready to go.
Yeah, so it'll be way quicker to come to pressure.
It'll be a pot to go.
Ooh, that is really good. Would it be wrong for me to add onion powder to it, or do you think we'll have enough onion?
You know,
I think we'll have enough onion.
I was gonna say onion powder.
Okay. Onion on onion on onion. Here's a tip for you too. Whenever you're dealing with a pot of something that's hot and you're adding seasoning to it, I mean, of course I just did that with my salt and pepper, but that doesn't really leave it very open. But when you're dealing with something with a shaker lid and you dump it in there, that steam does go inside of the seasoning, and that can result in some caking.
Some clumpy spices.
Clumpy spices.
Clumpy spices.
All right. Oh yeah, nice and flavorful, but I have onion powder in my hand. So we'll let that simmer get nice and hot. And now we gotta turn back over to our beef mixture. I think this had a pretty good time roasting and toasting in here. We'll taste it, see if we need to add any more seasonings, but then we're also gonna be adding the rice and some feta to this.
And why are we heading back over to our beef mixture?
Because we got some onions we gotta stuff. We're making some Greek stuffed onions. Dude.
Greek stuffed onions. Mm.
Dude. Yeah, so basically I have these onions that I've already been parboiled. I boiled them for 10 minutes in some, like a little bit amount of chicken stock. And so we got to use some of that chickeny onion stock in with our sauce we're gonna wrap the petals individually with this mixture. A lot of times people will just go ahead and add raw rice to this and add some more stock to make it a one pot ordeal. And the rice does still have that flavor, but we are trying to save time here. I need to clean up my workspace better. You know what I need? I really want to get a bus tub. Because when I worked in restaurants, there was always the bus tub to just like throw things in there and worry about it when the time came to worry about it. You know?
Are you done?
I'm gonna need the parsley later.
Need the parsley later.
Yeah.
Okay. But the dill, you are.
I think I'm
You're
done with the dill. Maybe. I have some dill here just in case I do need to add more.
Oh,
but dude,
good
these flavors are really good together. There's a bunch of dried oregano in here, and also some cumin, some salt, some pepper, fresh parsley, and some fresh dill. I'm eyeballing a cup here because I am so over using measuring cups for anything. And this is something I do a lot too. I will pre-make my rice and go ahead and just set it in the fridge. And so that way, when it's time for me to just whip up something, I can just, part of my meal prep. Do we have any questions from the commenters here?
We also still want to know what you're making.
Oh yeah, Greek stuffed onions. So this has
Hi, Maria Mall.
Hey there. There's ground beef, there's rice, there's, I did use a can of the whole tomatoes and reserved the juice because that's going in my sauce over here. And, you know, anytime one of us is filming the other one, because Ryan does his show on Saturdays at 10 a.m., like whenever there's like a big pot of steam or something, it just always follows the camera person. So I appreciate
or
them
smoke
doing that.
coming off the
or
grill.
smoke out of the grill mostly is what happens. I'm gonna stir in some feta.
Renee says that it looks amazing. Ooh, feta.
Oh yeah, I didn't see a whole ton of recipes that used feta.
Why?
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Seriously?
It's like, that sounds fun.
Here, I'm gonna need some of that.
Oh yeah, gotta have a cameraman snack.
Yeah. What up, Red Wagon?
What up, Red Wagon? I think my rice paddle might be the best thing to stuff these with too. Alright.
I bet Red Wagon likes some feta.
Feta is feta. Red Wagon is one of our creators on FoodtokTV as well. She does her shows on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. And for this week, for Stuffed Week, she did some caramel stuffed snickerdoodles.
Sasha, we're doing well. How are you, Sasha?
Oh my gosh, this is so good. So much flavor. And now, yeah, it would be nice if I had time to cool this down with stuff, but ain't nobody got time for that. So
Thank you for the follow, Renee.
So while I was trying to keep, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna turn off my saute just so there's not so much steam, but I am gonna keep it warm because I am just gonna immediately place these.
Yeah, this is
Into the Instant
TikTok, not the Steam thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can say that or not.
Oh yeah, the steam. Ooh. Maybe I should do a baking sheet first, like put them all on a baking sheet and then lower them in at the same time so they all have the same cook time. So,
Kind of
yeah,
like it. It's kind of like your own personal fog machine.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, what are we fighting now?
Oh, is there?
Oh no, they're tapping their sticks. No, I think we're honoring somebody.
Oh, okay.
No, I know. I mean,
I was about
that's
to say,
cool.
like, you got beef? I got beef.
Yeah, well, both teams were. Well, I don't know. Both teams usually tap their sticks. You do literally have beef.
Yeah, I literally have the beef. And while I did this with ground beef, you can easily do this with some different ground meats. I'm trying not to overstuff them, which anything I've ever had to stuff, like I'm thinking particularly tacos, I always go for the overstuff.
Man, nobody ever told me tacos were stuffed.
Yeah, I don't know. Are tacos technically stuffed?
I don't know, but
I mean, I guess if you're doing like a taco boat.
I could always make a case for it. I have to stuff something here in a few short hours too.
Right.
For my show.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday morning. That I realized that could have been misleading.
Yes. This filling smells amazing and it tastes amazing. I am so excited.
Yeah. Well, you definitely missed that step of putting the feta in.
Oh yeah, we added some feta because feta makes it better.
But yeah, it's in there.
Oh yeah.
It just went in there.
Oh yeah. You know, I wasn't thinking about this though when doing the Instapot, like how pretty are these gonna be? Because like when you're doing it in like a baking dish, you know, you have like the nice presentation with it. This is gonna be hard to present, but.
Now, what did you do with these onions? How did you arrive at this? What you cook? What did you do to the onions? And then like how did we get here?
Okay, so for the onions, I had a pot of like not a whole ton of water, just enough to cover the onions. I cut the onions, cut the ends off the onions.
Just,
yeah, that's the
that
leftover broth. Yeah. I used some of it in the sauce over here. And the reason why I didn't want to do too much water was because I wanted the onion stock to be pretty oniony. You know?
Hello, Abeo.
No. And so, there we go. I cut the tops and the bottoms of it, and then I put a slit horizontally in the onion to expose some of the inner layers of it, and then I let it boil. There's water, and then I also added better than bouillon.
Thanks for the follows, Darlene and Georgia Peach.
Ooh, Georgia Peach and Darlene. And so I let them boil for about 10 minutes, but then you have to let them cool because they are pretty insanely hot. So I did let them cool, and then the innards of the onions where the petals aren't going to be, you know, like where the petals wouldn't be able to do the wrapping like this, the smaller parts of the inside of the onion, I chopped up and cooked it with the ground beef along with some garlic, cumin, oregano, salt, pepper, fresh dill, fresh parsley. And then that cooked, I added some canned whole tomatoes. I reserved the tomato liquid, or some of the tomato liquid, so that way I can have it simmering in my Instapot right now. And then I stirred in some cooked rice and some feta to make my filling. This recipe is up on FoodtokTV. I don't have the baking recipe for this because I'm trying to do it in the Instant Pot. So I do have the baking instructions on there. I'm wondering if I should update it for the Instant Pot instructions because this is something I looked high and low for. Like, why is nobody making this in the Instant Pot?
Yeah, why isn't?
Yeah.
Well, why aren't they? Why?
Now, I love my Instant Pot, but I'm not the type of person where, like, everything needs to go in the Instant Pot. You know? I'm definitely not that person. I feel like I'm going to have more filling than...
No, but it's look, I'm tongue-tied tonight, guys, sorry. It's definitely a great tool.
It is a great tool. And also, even just then, though, like, it's just an additional slow cooker or another stove eye or something, too. Mine has a yogurt function on there, too, and I've made yogurt before. It's always so weird, though, making yogurt, because it's one of those things you have to have some yogurt in order to make yogurt.
But you only need a little.
Yeah, you just need a little.
A little. What was like a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
Yeah, like...
Not a lot.
Not a lot of filling in here. And I'm going to have a lot of this left over, so...
We'll be stuffing it and everything will be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find more things to stuff. Oh yeah, this one's a baby one. So yeah, I guess it just really depends on the side. You want it to like completely wrap up so it doesn't fall apart. And then after I drop these in the Instant Pot, I am definitely going to be washing my hands because, oh boy. Oh, eating my onions.
Yeah, the little, the litlins.
Oh, I'm okay, thanks. All right. You know, I could have even thrown in another onion or two with this amount of food. Maybe I'll change my recipe to put 6 onions. But then I'll feed like 4. I think that's what I'll do. It's a lot of filling. But I'm probably just going to save this and maybe make this again if I like it. But so far, I really like the taste of it. So let's go ahead and add them. There are my tongs. Add them carefully to the bottom here. So everything in here is pretty cooked. So I was also curious about like why there is such a long cooking time for these. But I think like we want the cut side down. But I wonder if everything just gets like super soft and the onions just meld with everything. So we'll see. Yep, making Greek stuffed onions, and I'm trying to make it an Instant Pot recipe. Ryan, what time do I have?
I don't know how much time you have, but
Nope.
It's 7:43.
Oh, okay. Wow, not bad. Yeah, it's safer to do this with my hands. I mean, not safe for me, but safer for the onions. Alright. And you know, if your dish is, you know, you want the onions to be pretty packed in there together, but if you have more onions than space, you can just load them up. Now these are, I think I'm gonna have the perfect amount of onions for the Instant Pot. Holy crap, guys. Yo, that's perfect. Perfect layer here. Awesome. I'm still feeling so freaking good.
Ooh, let's get a better look at that. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a perfect amount of
Like a
layer here.
full
You
house
want them
there.
packed. So, since I'm basically inventing the Instant Pot recipe, I'm also inventing the time. So I'm gonna try for not 60 minutes. You think 15? Because we also gotta wait for it to release too.
15's what you got left. So if you're gonna wait for it to release, I would do 10. I'd probably do 10 if you're gonna wait for it to release. You want that sweet release.
Yeah, we'll try for 10 minutes.
Thank you for the
But I
follow,
mean, no matter
Michelle.
what, I feel like I could go ahead and eat this already. Like, I wouldn't need to let it cook anymore. But
apparently there's
this is a very expensive process.
there's magic in that extra little bit of cooking.
clear my station because we're gonna move on to the next thing. Because I'm not just gonna sit here and stare at the empty pot while it's working. Maybe some more dough to go on top. That would be ideal. We'll keep the tongs. Y'all, thank you so much for still being here. We do have the Greek stuffed onions in the Instapot now because there isn't an Instapot recipe out there for Greek stuffed onions, but I do have the baking recipe up on FoodtokTV already. You can also check out our schedule and all the other recipes from this week.
There's about to be an Instant Pot.
Yeah, there's about to be an Instant Pot recipe. Alrighty. So, to really switch things up.
Oh, wow. Wait,
Yeah, Brian doesn't even know what I'm doing.
missing out. Yeah, I have no clue.
Okay, so. Gotta turn on my. I'll be right back, y'all. Okay, y'all may have remembered me talking about Grub Match and how with Grub Match what we do is there's a challenger and someone asks or someone challenges someone from FoodtokTV and they have 1 hour to make dishes with the special ingredient. And this last week I competed on there and you can still go vote until Saturday at 10 a.m. I cooked against Cooking with Mama T. Our ingredient was potatoes. I was talking about all the dishes I made earlier.
Where do we vote?
FoodtokTV.com. Our faces will be right there, and you can click on that and vote. And so
If you see this face, just go bloop, bloop, bloop. Click on it. Probably only one. I think they'll let you do one. Bloop.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
But one thing that I really regretted about that was at one point my oil overloaded. I think I got some water in there. So while Ryan was filming me, he had to stop what he was doing. We had a smoke alarm go off. Had to like turn off all my burners, and I still came out with 3 composed dishes. So I was proud of it. But one thing that I had planned on making were these mashed potato donuts.
Uh-oh.
Hear me out on this. And so we are going to be recreating that. I didn't, because I threw in the donut mixture into the thing that I had just fried the fish in. And so like some of those like extra fish battery got stuck on my donuts. And it just did not work. It was ugly. It was terrible. I was so sad because I had practiced this recipe and it was so good. And also I have these 2 open bags of the instant mashed potatoes and it's not enough for me to make instant mashed potatoes with them. But y'all, this stuff does make a really great thickener on these too. And so for this recipe, you definitely want mashed potatoes that aren't super, flavored with, you don't want ones that are super flavored with the butter, bacon, chives, like I'm sure some salt is fine, butter's definitely okay, but you definitely don't want super salty.
Beto says great mashed potato bags.
I love them. Which, like, it's been some time since I've even cooked with the instant mashed potatoes, but I need to add this to my grocery list. And so, coming over here, I'm not measuring any of this stuff out. I'm just praying it works for me, which did not work for me during the Grub Match competition, but just adding some hot water to this.
Beto uses them for camping.
Oh, I bet that's perfect.
Yeah, that's great because you got the fire there, you got the meat, and you need to bring the potatoes. Like,
if you ever wonder what kind of food can be dehydrated and will hydrate well, just ask a camper. Like, I have heard some strange things being hydrated and dehydrated from campers.
That's a great idea for a camp because you're not trying to carry a sack of taters like up the mountain with you.
Yeah. So this looks like, it could be some leftover mashed here.
Nice to meet you as well, Beto. Thank you for coming in and joining us.
Maybe a little bit thinner because this is basically a 2-ingredient recipe. However, I am...
Hey, Annie.
the base is a 2-ingredient recipe, but I'm going to be adding more stuff to it. So it's basically this, and then, oh, I forgot to grab mine.
Basically this.
Basically this. I'm also, just to jazz them up, the base, all you need is going to be the leftover mash and then self-rising flour, and it's going to be equal parts of that. However, because I do like flavor, because I mean, these turned out really great just with the 2. And you can also add some sugar to sweeten it up, especially if you have salty potatoes. But I'm going to be adding just a couple spoonfuls of some pumpkin and some pumpkin pie spice. I think that will be fine. And of course, and these are going to be fried. These are going to be put in the fryer. You can bake them. However, just like with this style of bread where you basically do a self-rising flour and then add in just a singular ingredient for those 2-ingredient recipes, it does become a bit more dense. I've done something similar to this where I used Greek yogurt, and then I used Greek yogurt and self-rising flour, and that was basically my base for some mini bagel bites that I had made, and I just air fried them real quick, and they were perfect for little mini homemade bagel bites. Oh, speaking of yogurt, y'all, even though we still have time to judge for Grub Match TV, you still have time to vote. This Saturday is going to be Nick Bonono, and he's challenging Kaz, so that will be a fun one. And this week it's going to be with yogurt.
Yeah, yogurt.
Yeah, yogurt's an interesting one. I definitely feel like I got lucky.
They turned down mushrooms to do yogurt.
Oh yeah, because whenever we're drawing for a new one, I do allow them one singular redraw. I think Kaz just wanted to redraw for fun. And then instant regret.
Yeah, instant yogurt.
Yogurt. See, this is much better than my Grub Match one. Because also on Grub Match 2, you're focusing on so many things. It's kind of hard to focus on the exact details of stuff. So making it into a nice little dough. Let's see what temperature my oil is at. Oh, do I have that? Oh, that was not sealed. Whoops.
Sorry, you called.
Every novice instant potter should know to make sure it's sealed.
Butterflies likes your top.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I like it too, butterflies.
Alright, let's get my other glove hand. Alright.
Tashi D, Rosie, welcome guys. Welcome in.
Oh, you know what I was gonna do? Because I think I'm gonna try a couple of these on their own, but I stuck in a block of cream cheese in the freezer because it's stuffed week. And so I figured these donuts do come out when they're in the fryer, when you do these 2 ingredients just with the leftover mashed potatoes and self-rising flour, when you fry them, they are nice and bready and fluffy like donuts. When you bake them, it's going to be a bit more dense. I figured, ooh, this is a frozen block of cream cheese. So this is just an idea I had. Hey, here's a recipe I didn't do correctly on a live show. Let me throw more in it.
Let me experiment.
Let me experiment with this. But dude, I was shocked by how good these donuts tasted.
Yeah, on the test run, those were.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, no way that these don't.
Yeah, they were so. They were so fluffy and perfect.
It was so disappointing for Showtime. But you know what? Despite all my fryer mishaps, I was able to put 3 composed dishes on a plate, and I'm proud of that. I did a potato waffle and potato chip crusted chicken tenders, and I did that plate, composed it plate with a maple mustard. I also made a potato tempura style cod and some fresh French fries, and then I also made a cottage pie, but I made a cottage pie, but instead of the mashed potato topping, I did Colcannon. And Colcannon is an Irish dish where it's basically mashed potatoes with some...
Thank you for the share.
kale.
The share,
Sometimes people
Rianne.
use cabbage, but... Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous about I hope the cream cheese stuffed ones work well. And these fry up super quickly. It only takes like 2-3 minutes for these.
Call Me Birdie says maple mustard sounds so delightful.
Oh yes. When you're doing a savory chicken and waffle dish, like mustard and the maple syrup, that's really all you need. Maybe some hot sauce too. You can always add honey and stuff to it to make it like a honey mustard one. Okay, so we're gonna try these 3. I don't want to like use all my filling and kind of ruin it. All right, we're gonna supercharge this because it's at 300, but I only tested these at 350. But while that's heating up, I am gonna go grab some powdered sugar. Y'all, I appreciate you joining me today. I do have the Greek stuffed onions in the Instant Pot. And the timer is actually started on there, so it does heat up really quickly. If you've ever used an Instant Pot and you notice that it takes a long time for it to come to pressure, try having something hot in there first. Like, I haven't tried this method yet, but I've even thought that boiling some water in the Instant Pot and then tossing out that water and adding whatever you need to add, so that way everything's hot, will work perfectly. Just to get it going so it doesn't take so long to come to pressure. Okay, we're at about 325 now. Ooh, got some cream cheese crumbs on the edge, but you know what? Let her go.
Trini says hello.
Hey, Trini! That was another one of our Grub Match competitors. She went against Mr. Crown Royal, and their ingredient was cinnamon. Y'all, I know a bunch of the Food Talk TV people were thinking how unfair it was that I got potatoes. I know they did. I know they thought that was unfair, but I'm sorry. I drew it out of a hat on live.
I drew it out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, potatoes? I'm buying the potatoes. Because the first week was Melissa, and she was competing against Cooking with Fatherpreneur, who is now a content creator with us. His show was earlier today at noon. And they went on, and they had coconut. So, yes. I'm thinking like 2 to 3 minutes on this. Orion, do you want to focus on the fryer? Because people love watching it fry. Let it fry, let it fry. Ooh, I'm so worried. I mean, I'm not worried. I'm just, well, a little bit. I've made these before and they turned out great, but it was just more so, ah. I think those look pretty done.
Scoop some of this stuff out of
Has it been like 2-3 minutes, you think? I think so.
Probably.
Yeah. But y'all, mashed potato pumpkin pie donuts. Y'all, this is ridiculous.
We're at the wiggle, guys. We're in the wiggle in there.
Wiggle, baby, wiggle. Oh, I'm sure you could even roll these around in some cinnamon sugar. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the little powdered sugar on top.
Ooh, allspice. Cinnamon sugar.
Ooh. Oh, they are so nice and crispy. I just want to open one up now.
Don't do it.
Okay. Look at
Oh, I love the little creamy dollop inside.
that. Yes, and it is just like nice and soft because that was a frozen piece of cream cheese that went into this.
Let me get some of that. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's it.
Yes, Labello. These are the ones that, sort of the ones that she tried on the show.
My fryer was way messed up for that show. And then also...
So she added pumpkin to these.
Yes, so it's a 2-ingredient thing. It's equal parts leftover mashed potatoes. You want mashed potatoes that are like pureed, not like chunky mashed potatoes. So I did go with the instant. So equal parts that with some self-rising flour. I just added a tablespoon or 2 of the pumpkin and then also added some pumpkin pie spice for this filling. And then to stuff it, I have some cream cheese that I had in the freezer for like an hour or 2. I think it was like closer to 2 hours. And then I'm just wrapping it up.
Trini said you nailed it.
I'm so happy. Y'all, do you know how embarrassing that would have went if I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the thing that I messed up on Grub Match. And then just mess up again. And it'd be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't my recipe.
Like maybe it was, maybe it was just the one that got away because she did a test run.
I did a test run and it was delicious.
And it was delicious.
I mean, it still is delicious. And one thing I had planned on doing, I had some softened butter that I would blend with some more of my pumpkin because I still have a ton more pumpkin left. But I was going to blend some softened butter with the pumpkin and some pumpkin pie spice just for a little pumpkin butter. But y'all, these are so freaking easy. You can bake them, however, they're not going to be light and fluffy like this. They are going to be dense. With these kind of breads, like with the self-rising flour and ingredient. Because you can make little breads out of just equal parts self-rising flour and Greek yogurt. Because that's what I did for one of my first episodes of Food Talk TV, and I made little mini bagel bites. So, alright. Be careful when dropping things in the fryer, but do as I say, not as I do. Probably use tongs.
I missed the fryer drop.
Oh, you missed the fryer drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for all these people know I threw in some decoys.
You're right. I tossed them in while you...
Yeah.
The old switcheroo.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, we'd be terrible magicians.
Yeah. No, I would be a terrible magician because I would just be like, you want to know how I did it? I would love to tell you. You know, that would be why I would fail at magician school. Also, I'm not the most choreographed person.
Is there a magician school? Annie says yum.
Yeah. I'm really excited about how these turned out this time.
Sandra Caswell.
Hello there.
Thank you for coming in, Sandra.
I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, it's about to beep for the Instapot. It's about to beep. Okay. Now the cream cheese hasn't been out of the freezer long, but it's already softening up a lot. So I am concerned about the future donuts. But it'll be fine. I got the first batch perfect. That's all I needed for redemption. This is my like little piece of redemption here. And also I'm not like running around like a mad woman making these, so How'd you feel the texture was?
The texture was wonderful.
Okay.
It was good. So whatever you did before, all right, do that again.
See, that was my plan for Grub Match.
Right, yeah.
Whatever you did before, and I was like, perfect. And it's like, don't mess it up.
Don't set the house on fire and not be able to use
Smoke
that
alarm
oil.
in the middle of a cooking competition, which y'all, I think every single person on Food Talk TV has had the fire alarm go off during their show. I mean, exceptions to the new people, but the people who've been doing this a while. Okay, so it's gonna be a loud hissing noise. If you have a cat, they will probably hate this noise.
They might hiss back at you. Oh. Throwing a hissy fit over there.
Okay.
Ooh, oh yeah. Those are nice and golden.
Oh, beautiful. I think those turned out even better.
Probably a little bit better. I mean, you know, the first ones aren't going to be.
You know, it's like the first pancake you make. The first is always the worst. I think those are going to be the more photo-worthy ones.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I'm glad I went for the cream cheese stuffing.
Yes. You want those creamy little fellas.
Oh my gosh. But the instant mashed potato that has like the butteriness already in there, you can taste the butteriness in here. You can taste the pumpkin. You can taste the pumpkin pie seasoning. And then like that cream cheese filling is just like a little bonus. So thank you, Steph Week, for making me stuff these. Because this week on Food Talk TV is Stuff Week. Alright.
Butterfly says redemption.
Redemption! Yes! I'm a little elated. Like at this point, like I don't care if the Greek stuffed onions that are in the Instant Pot, I don't care if those end up poorly because like this was, I gotta let my temperature come back up real quick. So I'm going anywhere from 325 to 350 on here. I'm trying not to go too high or too low. I oftentimes have issues with the induction cooker as far as getting the exact right temperature for a fryer.
Well, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's also tough. It's also tough with the cast iron because you'll get when you put the cast iron on there, you get an initial burst of like of temperature, and then as that temperature works its way into the cast iron, the heat dissipates. And then you don't get that anymore, so it's really weird. So when you set your cast iron on like your stove eye, it heats up slowly.
Alright. Okay, it's going to 330. I can see it just like moving on up. That is also a thing I didn't do.
I can't see that.
That's another thing I didn't do on Grub Match was have a thermometer in here.
You didn't have it? You didn't?
I didn't have it in my oil, no. Yeah, I know.
You gotta have the thermometer in there.
Yeah. Woo!
Bloop.
I think these are definitely the more photography ones, for sure. The ones where I got just like the light coating on there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna get... What should I serve these tomatoes in? You know, I do want to get some photos of the tomatoes, or I'm sorry, the onions. All right. Well, those are frying. Release this, or you want to watch the fryer some more?
I don't know. Then we got a lot of stuff to watch.
Yeah, let's watch the fryer.
Okay.
Let's wait for these to finish because these are almost done.
Let's take it right on back around to the fryer.
Round, round, get around, I get around. Woo! But yeah, I just had this block of cream cheese frozen for, I don't know, an hour or two before stuffing it into this batter that is just equal parts of instant mashed potatoes, which you can use leftover mashed potatoes for, but these were really buttery instant mashed potatoes. I didn't add any additional salt, but I did add some pumpkin pie spice and some pumpkin on there, and then the powdered sugar on top. And then little doo-doo-doo. About 2 to 3 minutes. Oh yeah, those are nice and golden, but I want to make sure that they get...
I think they need just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Thank you, Just, for the follow.
It is wild how quickly this cream cheese
Just followed you. I'm stupid. Thank you, Mama Boys, for the follow.
Thank you for the Mama Boys just follow. He's still new at the reading comments for me, but he's doing great. Oh yeah.
Lafina, thank you for the follow.
What do you think? And you can easily roll these in cinnamon sugar.
I think it's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I think so.
Yes. Woo.
Here we have mashed potato donuts.
with a little creamy filling inside.
Little creamy filling on the inside.
Little creamy stuffing.
Yes, cream
'Cause
cheese
it's stuffed week. It's not filling week.
I want to try one of these newer ones, like not the newest ones.
Annie gives you a great job. That little creamy center.
I love cream cheese anything.
Yes, thank you. Oh,
And if you like your donuts sweeter, you can absolutely add sugar to the mixture on here. There is some sweetness, but I'm not a huge fan of super sweet things, so.
Yeah, it's not like.
It's like
it's
very
not
much
killer
so
sweet.
a nice little pumpkin pie kind of donut. Y'all, I'm so proud of these. I need to make this into a recipe
Juju.
as well. Hey there.
I think everybody could use some good juju.
Okay, so you are just in time for the Instapot reveal of the stuffed tomatoes. Ooh.
A lot of steam.
A lot of steam, so.
A lot of steam.
Sorry, guys. Probably should have opened it ahead of time.
Hello, good juju. What is up?
What is up? I think I need to get a picture of it in the Instapot. Oh dang, I'm 12 minutes past my show time. Sorry, friends. But I'm getting better. I'm not like at the 2-hour mark.
Let me just get through with this. That is yeah, there you go. And we can see the oh man, there's a flash in there too.
Yeah, I was not trying to flash it.
Oh man.
Alright, I think I got the photos for the inside of the Instapot. Nice. Oh no! Oh baby, I had just spilled some of the. He was just about to put the phone stand right on top of the spice. I'm trying to be better about keeping my workstation clean as well, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job.
I think you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a better job than I do.
It's hard to think about that, especially when you're trying to, you know, just focus on getting stuff on the table in an hour. Did you take my cutting knife?
Mm-mm. I would never.
I took away the cutting knife.
I would never do such a thing. I know how it feels, so I would never.
Huh. Alrighty, well that's all okay. I'll just do torn. Okay. Y'all, these are so difficult to keep intact. So maybe I did overstuff them, for sure.
I hope so.
But this week on Food Talk TV, the theme is stuffed. I'm gonna wait for these to cool before I photograph them, so that way. I think I know where I put my knife, actually. But yes. See, this is what happens when I clean as I go. Well, you know what? Even if I clean as when I clean as I go, I lose things. If I don't clean as I go, I lose things. You know, it's just a thing.
You just lose things.
Yeah. Feta? Did you put away the feta?
Mm-mm. but I know where I did put it.
Oh, I think I saw it.
It's over there on, yeah.
Because there is some feta in the filling as well. The filling has, I blanched the onion, or I cooked the onions for about 10 minutes after they were peeled, chopped top to bottom, and I also put a slit down in there vertically, and I let them cool. And the filling has some ground beef. There's also oregano, cumin, salt, pepper, fresh parsley, fresh dill, and then, oh yeah, some seasoned tomatoes, some of the whole canned tomatoes, and then I use the sauce that it's sitting in there. It's some of that onion stock, and that onion stock I did add some better than bouillon to it. Oh yeah, we can make this just a tad prettier. Okay, there we go. Just some basic maneuvers. Oh yeah, all that delicious sauce in here. This recipe is already up on Food Talk TV for baking, but I think I'm gonna add in some Instant Pot instructions as well. Alrighty. I can't believe I was able to make this like look somewhat presentable. Because you know, most of the pictures you see online, it's like in the baking dish, but the Instant Pot's not a super attractive baking dish. But yeah, here we go. For Stuffed Week on Food Talk TV, we made these Greek stuffed, I keep saying tomatoes, they're Greek stuffed onions. These are onions that we stuffed with a ground beef and rice mixture with tomatoes and feta cheese in there as well, very seasoned. And then we also made these pumpkin spiced stuffed donuts using instant mashed potatoes, equal parts self-rising flour, some pumpkin puree, some pumpkin pie spice, rolled it up in a ball, threw it in our fryer.
Dollop of,
oh yeah, and the frozen cream cheese in there.
Don't forget about the stuffed component.
The stuffed component, because
what's the stuff you put in them?
It is Stuffed Week on Food Talk TV. And the cream cheese.
Yes. Gooey. Ah, yes.
So yes,
keep on.
I did freeze the
doing
cream
it.
cheese for like an hour or two before doing this. But y'all, I think this Stuffed Week does cut the mustard. I think it cuts the mustard. Well, alrighty, y'all. Thank you for joining me on my show, Cutting the Mustard. My name's Taylor Rose, and I will see y'all next week. Happy mustarding.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Good Juju. Thank you, Bree. Butterflies. Trini. Thank you guys for coming in and
I appreciate y'all hanging out.
being a part of this.
Happy mustarding.
Happy mustarding.
Do you know how to turn it off, or do I need to teach you?
Don't.
Okay.
Oh, the off button.
Yeah, the off button. And now.